All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Talking Formers with Walt Millsy. We've had to have a bit of a guest lineup change. Obviously, this is still a new format. Trying to find that time that works. So there's going to be some patience required, which I'm sure is understandable. And as we move through this journey of Talking Formers, we'll look back one day and go, oh my goodness, what a ride. Alright, so I've got one guest today. One may join later. So this gentleman is another Transformers Earth Wars content creator. He gets his information out there, but I'll let him talk about that. But it's Freezius Max. Alright, so he'll plug all these channels and do all that good stuff shortly. Alright. Let me just make sure everything is good to go. Alright, here he is. The one, the only, Freezius Max. Welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hey, not bad, Walt. What's going on, everyone?
Alright, so early days, my friend, but obviously people are going to rewatch this video if they don't catch it live. We'll start off with saying, or not for you saying, who you are in the game, and then obviously you can plug your socials and all that good stuff. Over to you, my friend.
All right, yeah, man, sounds good. So I'm Freezius Max. I'm really excited to be here, and this is my first time really getting to collaborate with anyone. Walt Millsy reached out to me a couple of weeks ago as he was trying to set up the podcast. So I was like, yeah, man, I always look forward to working with other creators and stuff like that. So real happy to be here. My channel is same name as you see up there, same name that he's called me, Freezius Max. You can do a search for it on YouTube. That's where I do all of my content. And I actually have all my social media links up there as well. But Instagram, I'm G1_ Freezius _ Max, and then on Discord it's Freezius Max number 4009. So that's the primary one that I use is the Discord, because I do have my own server. Walt Millsy and I both are on each other's servers, just looking for good ideas, looking to collaborate, and looking to have some fun playing the game. So that's really what I'm about. I'm in Darkness family, Darkness Immortal. I'm one of the officers there, and I'm one of the primary event planners over there. So really excited to be here.
Thank you for that. Send me all your links, and I'll put them up in the description after the video is finished going live, so everyone can check out on your socials. So, what was your alliance again? Darkness Eternal?
It was Darkness Eternal. I moved to Darkness Immortal, and so that's about the second highest alliance that we have in the Darkness family. We did a realignment a few months ago, and that's where I ended up primarily playing in Cybertron League right now. Sometimes we hit Prime League. Honestly, I think that the newest War Effects, they weren't as challenging for my particular team build. So we wound up talking to my guys a little bit. We wound up doing a couple of Prime League battles. We're not quite there yet, but we're having some fun up there with the War Effects. I also play test. That's the part that I didn't mention. If anybody who's not on my streams, I play test. So a lot of times I can speak about some of the new stuff that's going on in the game from that aspect as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about the playtesting shortly because it's going to obviously be very relevant to the leaderboard event, which we're going to talk about, which is coming next week, and the characters that you can win there. So we'll talk about that a bit later in the show. But yeah, we'll touch base now with so the Darkness family. So I'm in the PPX family where we are Autobots and Decepticons. Decepticons are a bit more, stronger in numbers, and so yeah, we've got a fair few alliances there, and I think I'm up in one of the top three. So I'm in PPX Technicons, and my Decepticon account is still on the up and up. I'll be doing my next live stream will probably be just reviewing all my bots and stuff. But if you didn't check that video out from yesterday, I did an ad hoc just live stream because I was excited. I unlocked my second 5-star on my Milzatron account and my first 5-star combat bot. So yeah, go check that one out. It was really, really exciting times. I actually got the one I wanted. So I went for the latest batch because I wanted to get Headstrong so I could get my first 4-star combiner, being Predaking.
Oh, nice.
And I got him, so that was exciting. I thought I was going to probably get like a Guy Hawk because I already had him in 4-star, and although I love him as a bot, I was like, chances are that'll happen. But I was very, very lucky, and I got a 5-star Catgut. So they've paired up together, and I just need to wait for the cooker to the oven doors to open up and throw him in there and get him cranking.
And you making me jealous talking about some of the bots that you got over was this last event you talking about?
Last event,
with the 5-star combats.
Yeah, it was just the 5-star combat. Yeah, I just got enough of that. And with the battle pass, obviously helping out as well, getting the cyber pass. Sorry, so having the premium cyber pass, getting those extra 5-star crystals and the combat crystals. That was very, very good. And I know you even spoke about last video, and I think we spoke about it last podcast. And we'll talk about it a bit later. But the changes in the cyber pass. I guess everyone's expectations and versus reality of it all, like everyone's got a different opinion of what it should be, and obviously there's a lot of games out there with its own battle pass. Some people like you were saying, it finished too early. What are we going to do now? And like you said, they got to design it for every player, and there's players out there that can't be on this game 23 hours of the day, so they need to make it attainable for that. If you want to go forth and smash it out and then have nothing to do, that's up to you. But yeah, I think always finding that balance between the whales and the hardcore players and the casual players is always going to be a challenge, I think.
Yeah, and honestly, man, and I'll tell you straight up, just coming from the play tester circuit, there were some folks that were concerned. I mean, even if you just look on regular just Transformers Earth Wars Discord, there's been a lot of concerns about, hey, well, we need something to do, or the big question that keeps coming up is, do you want to have these things carry over to the next saga? And honestly, man, I think we got so used to just grinding. We got so many different modes now, different game modes, that everybody's used to always doing something. I was like, look, man, when the Battle Pass stuff was over, because it kind of pushed boundaries a little bit, sometimes you're doing things, you're using 3 gunners, you're using 3 warriors in a battle just to try to chase that token for the Battle Pass or the Cyber Pass. And I was glad to be done. I was done in about 2 weeks, or getting close to 3 weeks, like about 2.5 weeks. And I was like, good. There's one less thing that I have to do. I'm still starving for Z Energon. I'm still starving for Spark, because I sparked a couple of bots recently, and took a couple of bots to Ability 11, I think on the same day. So yeah, I'm always looking forward to just getting a game mode over with. Every week with Titan Assault, I'm looking forward to getting that over with, Same thing with Cyber Pass.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously being the first one, people now know that, some of those. So I've got two accounts. My original account that I still play is, I think it's got five stars. It's got the Titan level 3-star, and HQ 17, obviously with a Titan. But just having a look between the two different accounts in terms of what dailies you get, and in that one of the ones that you had to chase a bit harder was the multi-defense one. So some of the bases I was coming up against didn't necessarily have them on their base yet. So that one was more of a harder one to catch. But now you know that if they keep the same sort of format in terms of every week of the saga, you get another extra bonus missions to do. You don't need to go as hard. You now know how long it takes to get. If you did your math, not relying on the dailies, I think you only needed like maybe around that 500 mark more. So that was only just a couple of the big quests, which the 400 battles you're going to get easy. And a few others like I think it was your special ore. There's ones there that just come without trying. So if they keep that format,
right,
you won't need to go and go and push the crazy bots. You won't need to do a level 1 base to get your 3 gunners to achieve it, or your very hard ones to chase that sort of dynamic. Depending on where you are in the game, you can sort of just take your time. But if you're impatient and you really want those rewards straight away, then go forth and don't get too upset if you've got nothing to do later on. It's like if you open up all your Christmas presents the day before, it's your own fault when you got nothing on the day. You got excited the day before. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with the battle pass. Which we did say last week that some people feel that the expectations weren't managed very well, but a lot of other people on the other side, they knew it's the first time he did something. Of course, it's going to be, Ben-Hur's going to be this big, and it's going to be a lot bigger than him, and it might not be as crazy. So you might see a reduction in the 5-star shards next cyber pass. There might just be only the bot or the combat, and they might share it up. But we did chat last week, and there's a lot of stuff that they haven't included in there which they can. Obviously there was a lot of new things like the ability skips and stuff like that. They could be looking at the Shannick store, like you said, Red Energon. That's always, especially for anyone who hasn't got to level HQ 17 yet, you need a truckload. And I only just recently found out too that once you get to character level 80, you can't be getting that sneaky buying that Red Energon. So I haven't hit that yet, but that was a little tip that I got. So I'm doing what I can. I just hit 79 on my other account, so I've got a lot of time to go on my Decepticon. He hasn't spent any Red Energon, which is the perks of making a second account. You get to not make the mistakes that you've made previously.
Yeah, and I actually got a second account that I got in Darkness Strikes, and that's really the big thing. I went crazy with putting all the spark out there, just using it on any button. So now you know the differences, and not to do those things. So now, trust me, I totally get it. And going back to the Cyber Pass thing, one thing that has become popular that I know my players have been asking for is they was like, look, man, Freeze, if you can talk to Space Ape and get a combiner combiner skip, a combiner upgrade skip, right? That would be clutch, because I tell you what, man, I mean, they offer quite a bit of combiner spark, but I was like, man, like right now, I've been had Overlord sitting at 20, and I'm trying to build some other 4-stars, because I only got 3 4-star combiners, right? Bruticus, who I've got maxed out, and then I've got 5-star Overlord, and then I've got a 4-star Predaking. And I was like, I just want to get Predaking to 20 so I can start working on Overlord again, because I want to have options for when I got to go sit them down. So that would be clutch to be able to do a combiner skip. So I'm going to advocate for it. Hopefully they actually accept it. We should start testing that. I would imagine it's going to be around next week, because Space Ape already started talking about it a little bit. So I think that's the next big thing. We'll be trying to get through leaderboard week right now.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, we'll talk about leaderboard shortly, but yeah, I know from the other content creators that I talk to, and there's a bit of a discussion going on behind the scenes where, you know, obviously the communication with Space Ape and whatnot, and sometimes, you know, the creator code, content codes take a little bit to get in, and sometimes they don't feel like they're heard potentially. You know, there's obviously a lot going on there, so we won't go into that point of view, but one thing I was going to mention was, in terms of, I've heard from another content creator that, you know, the access, early access that was given sometimes was not enough. It was like, you know, maybe 24 hours before the event starts, but which will segue into next week's event now. Apparently, there's been given early access already for the Shattered Glass new characters. Is that correct?
Yeah, so, yeah, that's correct. And so, there's a couple of things that's kind of being changed. You asking about for the leaderboard. I'm sorry, I think I'm cutting out.
It's all good. Yeah.
I think
Oh, you good?
cut out for a second. Ask again.
Yeah, so the leaderboards. So yeah, I was talking about I guess the early access, the content creator play testing aspect. So you have access to the new characters that are available next week in the leaderboards. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So, because I'm doing play testing, so one of the things that I was emphasizing when I made my video yesterday is, so I didn't have any access as a content creator. The content creator side and the play tester side are essentially two separate sides, right?
Oh, okay. Yep. Cool.
So as a play tester, I had access to all that stuff and I got to test them. So what I wound up doing is, I wound up making a video, because after the official, you know, it's 6 official TFEW content creators. So after Sunshrika Waza did his, I said, well, I'll do mine's, because we were authorized to go talk about the bot after the official content creators released theirs, which I was perfectly okay with. You know, they've established themselves, so by all means, they get the right to do that. But some of my players and some of my followers were upset by that, but I was like, I had to explain to them, hey man, like, that's the way it is. So yeah, I played this bot. The bot did change a little bit today. I haven't played it since it changed. I had a really busy day today. But they did change the bot since I made the video last night. Honestly, Sunshrika Waza actually took his video down that he made yesterday because he wanted to be as accurate as possible. I just explained to my followers, hey, this is what's going on. They told us it was done. But I think they wanted to make it a little bit more powerful, so that's what they wanted to do today.
Yeah, I think obviously in terms of the content creators, you know, the big guys up there, yeah, like probably agree with what Sunstreakers was has done. But obviously for you and I, the small fish in the ponds, we you know, we've got a bit, you know, a pretty tight-knit community. So you know, a comment in the video explaining that it's changes is suffice, but I'm sure a comment in his videos would get lost in the ether. So
yeah, I mean. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, like, I get it, because you know, honestly, my video, Sunshrika Waza's video yesterday, it generated a little bit more hype, because before that, a lot of people were on the fence about whether they wanted to bid real high on the leaderboard or not, and because I just want to say something, and I kept telling Space Ape, you know, text a Titan. He was also saying, he was advocating, he said, look man, you need to release some information. I understand trying to generate hype, and sometimes it's like, you know, I'm a gamer, I know you game and stuff too, outside of just Transformers. I'm an Xbox guy, right? And one of the things when I was playing Nintendo, I used to get irritated with is that they would make a small amount, and now Xbox kind of doing, they make a small amount, and then people get hyped and they start building anticipation because they think it's something that they can't have, right? I think Space Ape kind of took the same approach, but you know, it takes time to organize this stuff. Like you're in a pretty large family over in PPX. I'm sure it takes some time to organize. I know in Darkness we're another large family. It takes some time to organize. And so you got to know what you're bidding on. And people have been asking me for the last week, up until we were able to release that information. So I have been advocating for them to push that stuff earlier.
Yeah, definitely. So before converting to Decepticon and finding the PPX family, my Autobot account, I was away with military service, but I was with the ARC Alliance. They're really big over in the Autobot faction, and to a point where, yeah, their leaderboards and their events, everyone disbands basically, except for the alt that probably holds it in, and they joined ARC event, and when I was there it was from ARC event 1 to 11, and then there was even still a couple of alliances that are, you know, pretty much set where they don't alter, but which one just, I think one of the ARC one just took, I can't remember the name, they just took the top of the leaderboard, yeah, their organisation, to get that, you got to get your bids in, goes to an Excel sheet. They obviously review, make sure people actually hit their bids the previous event. A lot of work behind the scenes, and there's a lot of you know, people who play this game, you know, whether they're a content creator, a play tester, a streamer, you know, blogger, you know, there's people out there that put so much effort and work into this, and yeah, relying on that information sometimes is the hard part, and you got to feel for them. Because yeah, you don't want to, you know, be putting all this effort in and then find out that, you know, it's a yes, you got a new 5-star bot or a new 4-star bot, but if it's sitting on your bench, it's not, you know, is it really worth it?
Yeah, and that's honestly, like you probably saw on the Discord or on my Discord server today. That's like a lot of the back and forth today was about. But just after everybody saw the videos, and you know, after a couple of us in my server were, you know, play testers also.
Yep.
And a lot of it was the discussion was like, hey man, is this bot worth it? Now don't get me wrong, I think it's a really good bot, but I think what it's being marketed as is this is the MDS killer, and because it's gonna have enough, it's gonna be powerful enough to take down that multi-defense system, and that's cool, but I think the cost on it is really high, and so Fabian from Space Ape had been working with us a lot to try to make the bot to where it was usable, because when the first version we got was not good at all. It was terrible. It was a terrible bot with the first version we got. And then we made some, we made some adjustments. I had some suggestions, and I had him make that, and he made that adjustment pretty much overnight. But yeah, so now the bot's usable, and the bot's actually pretty good. But it's not. Is it iconic? It's the first one that they put in as a 5-star prize in the leaderboard. The answer to that, I think the answer to that is no, but I do know some people that watched my stream and watched Waza's stream yesterday, and they were very excited afterwards, and good for them if because everybody plays differently, right? And I always emphasize that a lot on my streams. So if that fits your play style and you can see utility in it, you can see value in it, go for it. Are you still there, boss?
Oh, muted. My daughter came in, so.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear for a second, you know.
No, sorry. No, so yeah, sorry. You were saying I was moving on from what was I saying? Yeah, everyone's playstyles are different, and the amount of time, money, energy you invest into a character, you know, you can make it, you know, something special. Like, I know some people lug nut Elita 1, they're like, all right, you know, some people love it, some people don't. I know I think it's pretty sure it's Sunstreak or was at that high end game, it's not as a great bot compared to the lower levels. So in my leader one, she's 5-star. She's got a 5-star chicken axe on her on my Autobot account. She's got max prime core. Sharkticon's coming out the wazoo. She can get up there and just dominate. She's not even max level yet. I did give her the level 11 ability. Look, it's not anything to write home about, but she as a almost maxed out bot, she definitely helps level out the rest, and she can have fun with the base. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I know you kind of taking it easy and not trying to brag too much, but that is one of those iconic bots. For me, I got Lugnut. I got Lugnut in the 4-star, and I just recently got Lugnut's Mace. And
oh yeah,
I'll be honest with you,
elusive.
It's a big difference. G metal even.
Oh wow, congrats.
Really big difference in how I proceed with Lugnut now. So I started using them more. I mean, I did use them before, but I started using them a lot more with Lugnut's Mace. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that I haven't even seen the Leader 1's version. I've got Lugnut's Mace, I think maybe silver on my Autobot account, but yeah, it's definitely what I do find with both accounts, it's like there's always something that'll pop up on the other account. I even got something really good, for an Autobot on my Decepticon main account. I was like, ugh, why can't that be on the other side? And then on my in terms of my Decepticon collection on my Autobot side, I've got more 4-star combat bots for Decepticons on that account than what I have Autobots. I'm not too bad in terms of my Decepticon combat bots on this account. I was quite fortunate. I've got a fair few 4 stars there. But yeah, it's like always. And then my young kids, they've got accounts that they don't really play anymore. But I logged in one the other day, and I'm like, oh. That's the bot I need for my. You got a 4-star bot that I need for a combiner. What are you doing? Give me that. But yeah, it's the gambling aspect that we love. It keeps us going, chasing it. I love of Pokemon and collecting stuff. You got to catch them all. You got to collect all the bots.
Yeah, and honestly, yes, I like getting new bots. For me personally, I'm gunner deficient, I don't know what, man. I got some 4-stars or whatever that I use, and I use in certain combinations, but I just really, I don't have any 5-star gunners and I finally started getting star healers. You probably seen that in some of the videos that I made recently, and I was just like, thank goodness, man, because I was getting tired. All these walk teams that they had with the double healers and stuff, and I'm just watching people do this base after base after base. And I was like, man, I want to do that. And so I'm probably going to build up my 4-star hook, my 4-star shockwave during the leaderboard event. My focus is going to be to try to get them past 40, get them upgraded, and so then I can go try to play with them a little bit, because I got both of those very recently, and I'm going to try to go power level them during the leaderboard.
Yeah. So in terms of your account, how many 5-star cons do you have, and who are they?
Alright, so I'm gonna pull it up, and I know I can't screen share right now. I was having some technical difficulties with it, but what I can do is list them out.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, let me pull up my game real quick and take a look, because I'll tell you right at the gate. So my very first 5-star was Blastoff.
Oh, yep, nice.
And and so that's been one of my go-tos. I think that's my first and my second strongest bot in the entire game. And it kind of is annoying, because when they started putting those power cores on the MDS,
yeah,
then I was like, oh, I can't one-shot anymore. I got him to level 10 right now, and then either him or Tantrum who are also having a 5-star, is one of the ones, my candidates that I was looking at taking to ability 11 next.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I just got my game screen now. I can go through my 5-star bots real quick. So I have a total of so I got a total of 9 5-stars.
Oh, nice.
So not too bad. Yeah, so I got 5 stars of Ramjet, Impactor, which is Impactor. I believe is my last one.
I like
Blast
Impactor.
Off, Reflector.
Nice healer.
And me too, man. That's like I learned to love him. It was the only healer that I had for a long time. 4-star and then 5-star Reflector. So a lot of people just did not like that bot. Like the first video I made was an ability 11 video, and Reflector was in that batch. And people were just so irritated, and they just wanted to complete. Like, they said he was broken, and they wanted to fix this bot. And I was like, dude, the bot's pretty good. I'd use him. I said, I ain't got no choice. It's the only healer I got. And and I like him. I use him on my war team, stuff like that. Honestly, Ramjet, Impactor, Blast Off, Reflector are all on my war team. So I want to get a couple more bots to put in there so I can replace some of my 4-stars. But I'll probably get another one this next 5-star event. We'll see how it goes. But I also have 5 stars, Beast Wars, Megatron, Tantrum, Astro Train, Tone, and Scavenger. So that's all of them.
Nice. Yeah, you've got a good little collection there. I've got 2, so I just got my new one, and I think I created this account maybe when the game changed from its original format. So I did create it back in the day, and then it lied dormant, and then I got back into it when I returned back from deployment last year, and it was a little bit before the 5-year anniversary, which is great. So I got 5-star Soundwave for my so I got 5-star Soundwave on that account, and now I've got Headstrong, which a few people were a bit surprised. They were like, "Oh, you're going for Headstrong." That's a rare choice. Normally people would probably be chasing another one, but my strategy was for the 4-star combat, because Combiner, sorry, yeah. So where I'm sitting in my level, I think that edge is gonna accelerate me up there, and especially with the amount of 4-stars I have, and the extra energy you get at this time. I'm sort of, there's a bit more waiting, so if I can reduce how many bots I send in and rely on the combiner to sort of carry a bit of that weight, that's going to definitely help me out in terms of leveling up too. So I'm currently level 63, so at the moment I'll be just saving a bit of my resources so I can get to that level 16 HQ, and then start to get the bots going up a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like going back to what you were saying about Headstrong, like I need people to understand, completing the combiner and getting the combiner piece, that is a very valid reason to go chase a 5-star bot, because there's a couple, I probably wouldn't have any of my combiners if I didn't, or my 4-star combiners, excuse me, if I didn't go chase those particular bots. And the one that took me the longest to get was Tantrum. Like I actually like him as a regular bot, he was the last one I got out of that batch. I was so irritated. And then even you were talking about earlier about the anniversary event, right? The 5-year.
Yep.
And I had 3 bots left during that event, and not get Tantrum out of that event. And I was furious. I was just like, man, what's going on? But I knew that I was getting them next time, so that calmed me down. But I was like, dude, there's only 3 of these guys. You mean surely one of them's going to be Tantrum, right? Particularly now with the HQ-17s, you know, it's one of those bots that I can use to try to help me with the Titan. Well, yeah, well, I got him at a good level now. I carried him the first day I got him. I carried him to ability level 10. Like I saved all that spark, all those resources for the day that I finally got Tantrum. So he's one of my favorite bots.
Yeah, I think all of the Predacons are good in their own right. Like Dive Bomb's awesome,
Right,
flies
like,
up, drops in. All the other heavy hitters, you know, just invest a little bit into them.
yes.
I know I never had a 4-star Grimlock, but I know some people are like, you know, yet again, everyone's got their own different opinion, and you know, whether you put the effort and what star level at. But yeah, I think Razorclaw's great. You know, and everyone's play style is going to be different too. Every base you come up against is going to, you know, potentially change how you're even going to play that team. You know, whether you know how to path correctly. There's so much. It's not RNG. I guess it's strategy and awareness that you have to how to use them. Like I still don't know how to use all my bots or cons. You know, I got to read the ability. For me, it's like who's the opposite. Oh yeah, that's that. I know how to use them. Or there's one that's new that I've got to figure out.
Yeah, nah, I got you. And man, like I'm really partial. Going back to the statement that you were just making, I'm really partial to the Predacons up there because that's the one team that I look at when I look at a combiner team in this game that is not one bot in that combiner that I don't like as an actual bot. You know, I can find bots in most of the other teams that don't really particularly care for it. The exception being Tripredicus. I think I like all three of those bots, but I don't have a strong Ramhorn yet.
Okay.
I think it's a bot that I like. I actually requested Ramhorn because in the playtest circle they can give us bots on the test circle specifically.
Okay.
So that we can test them. And I want to test him. Actually, my son wants me to test him. He's my admin on Discord, and he just started playing recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I wanted. He wanted me to look at it. I said, you know, I want to look at him too because I don't have him, and I want to get that 4-star Tripredicus at some point. So, but yeah, other than that, like Predacons they're a pretty solid bunch as individual bots, and then they make a pretty solid combiner.
Oh yeah,
so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, unsure how far around the corner it is, but, you know, the 5-star combiners are coming too. So in terms of, you know, where you're, which 5 stars you're going for, yes, there's a lot of bots out there that don't form a combiner that are awesome, and you definitely want them, but I know for me, I'm definitely focusing on the combiners at the moment. So, you know, in terms of 5 stars, so when it does come around the corner, I'm in a good position because those obviously we don't even know what the 5-star ability would be, but I would like to think that they're potentially a bit harder to get than, you know, your Overlord, who's, you know, one bot. So you would think that ability is going to be something spectacular, and I'm sure they've got ideas of what they're, you know, looking at in the future for it, but you know, obviously being so far away, the mechanics may change. There might be something where it, you know, like, I don't know, it could even tie in with a Titan or something. Who knows of the stuff that they're adding these days.
Yeah, and honestly, man, the 5-star combiner is overdue because when I looked around, one of the things that I was talking about on some of my videos is the game is becoming more difficult, particularly at the highest levels. A lot of the big spenders, a lot of the whales wanted it that way, and you know what? Honestly, I think they should have it. Like I think the whales should have Prime League, or whatever, because it's very difficult to get in there as a free to play, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I don't know. One of the things that I was just looking at is the 5-star combiner. I think it's necessary. I think we saw how powerful Overlord can be.
Yeah.
And I think we need to extend that to the other ones, because at the end of the day, I keep telling everybody on my videos, hey, HQ18 is looming around the corner, and I think that HQ18, I don't have any inside knowledge from the playtester aspect yet, but look at I study everything that the apes do, and I think that this is going to be, I think HQ18 is going to be a headache for most, and I think that the weapons, whatever they introduce, is going to be so powerful. It's going to justify a couple of things. It's going to justify the 5-star combiner. It's going to justify the fact that they want to make 5-star combats and 5-star bots for every saga now. Event 5-star combat, 5-star bot events every saga now. They're doing all this stuff for a reason, based off of the way that I've seen them in the past. So, telling everybody now, get ready.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. It's coming. I mean, man, listen, it's coming. And I'm sure you stream and stuff too. You study this too. I mean, do you agree? You think that that's? I think that's
Yeah, no, definitely. I think if you look back, like obviously we've got the Titans now, and it's like, oh yeah, you forget the day before Titans, but there's I've had friends who, and I think you were even saying, I don't know if it was today or on your previous stream, people who missed out on the Titans and then they came back, and especially at the high level, like there's Titans that just wreck you, and it's like, oh, if you're not ready for it, you do get left behind. And some people have left the game purely for the fact that they were having a break around that Titan time, and then they felt like it's been hard to catch up, which obviously is widespread in the community, because there's the packs have just come out now to help people catch up, because obviously the herd is real. So when you're saying get ready, it's coming, like 100%, you don't if you aren't prepared, then your wallet's got to come out, your 5-star wallet combiner, and needs to come out and catch you up.
Man, and the thing is, it's like I feel really bad, because there's a lot of guys that I've made like really good friends online playing this game, and so one of the things that it really hurts is when people quit over this stuff. And I was like, I've had guys up there that I've been friends with for years that like, well, hey man, I'll drop down a level, I'm still gonna play the game, and they have to make sure that we understand, hey, I'm still gonna play the game, but I can't keep up without that combiner.
Yeah,
personally, yeah, man. So like, here's the thing for me. That very first week, I was organizing an event. I thought it was a terrible time to go that Titan, that Titan, the campaign.
Yep.
For the 2-star Titan, and I got behind on Titan Assault mode. So I'm literally 1 week behind on every week, and so right now I got a level 12. Everybody's got level 13 right now. And I've noticed the difference. I'll have it on Sunday. I'll have level 13 on Sunday. There's no problem with that. But it has affected my wars drastically as you go along. And I just don't want everybody to give up.
Yeah, persist through. Yeah. In terms of scaling for bases, it is going to be. Any game's going to be difficult. And I've always had the opinion, yeah, you can comment, you can like stuff, but in terms of hate, I never try to hate on anything, because it's better than anything I can do. Therefore, I'm like, who am I to comment and go, well, this game could be better because of this. It's like, man, I wouldn't be able to even make like bloody Pac-Man or Snake or Pong. Even those games are probably ahead of my ability.
Yeah.
Oh mate.
And this thing is, I honestly, for me, like with me play testing, I just like having the chance to a little bit of influence. And honestly, play testing, I think it's what gave me the motivation to start my YouTube channel, because I was like, man, you know what? Got influence up there. I get to talk to Space Ape every day, and I want to talk to everybody every day. I want more, you know. And so yeah, I get it. I just want to be helpful as possible. So one of the things for me is that I'm always taking suggestions. I was telling people yesterday, I made 2 videos yesterday, which, you know, if you saw one of my videos, you know why I made 2 videos yesterday. But
Yeah.
yeah, for me, it's just I like talking to people, and I like just get the opportunities, right, to use their ideas. I think like a lot of my ideas, most of my videos, those are not my ideas. That's the ideas of the guys talking in the Discord server. You know what I mean? So, and I imagine, you know, as you go along, a lot of your stuff is probably going to wind up being the same way, because I actually love watching your streams and everything like that. I think you got real good content overall. I think you're gonna grow, and I think we probably wind up doing a couple of these together over the course of the time that we created, you know.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, like obviously, yeah, we're older blokes. And we do have a viewer in chat. We've finally got someone, so we'll hit up Victory Star Saber in a second. But yeah, thanks, man, for those kind words. But yeah, we're started out around the same time. I know you said before.
Yeah.
So you know, whether it's healthy competition or collaboration, you know, it always goes hand in hand. There's always that friendly banter, which is there, but it's definitely not anything negative. But yeah, it's always good to see. But yeah, working together, the collabs, just chatting on Discord.
Yes.
About, you know, the games that you enjoy. That's why I was like, I'm going to do the podcast, because working on getting your videos, all that post-production work you got to do, it does take time. I'm probably going to be steering towards doing the live show with a video format where I still review stuff and do cutscenes and whatnot, so it would still have the same format as what my videos were at, but it's just going to be live. So if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. If my mic's off, it's going to be off for a little bit, but I'll make sure I have someone working with me, like before, you know, when the mic was muted, you're like, hey, where are you, buddy? So yeah, definitely gonna look at that. Alright, Victory Star Saber. So, no Secone doesn't need a buff, he's already God Cone. Lol. And then another issue for the Titans is the 4-star part is going to cost 4-star shards. Just imagine how many 5-star shards the 5-star buff require. Yeah. Or the amount of money that they're going to offer it up as. You know, it's definitely going to separate people. I think it's going to be at a point where you have to prioritize, you know, whether it's Titans, combiners, or bots, you know, where you need to do, and to tend to say, I don't know, in terms of priority, like I said, I'm prioritizing bots for combiners at the moment in terms of the 5-star. Would I stop spending my 5-star shards and save for a Titan? For me, no, because I started to save my 3-star shards to get the 3-star Titan part, but I'm not even, I'm still not at the level where I can upgrade to 16, so without even putting all the numbers down to work out how much XP I need to, to forecast when I would reach these HQ levels, I think, I'm going to disadvantage myself if I start saving and neglecting, getting the 3-star combiners, which I was, doing at a point, and the 4-star combiners. So I think you got to look at where you're at, and I think you got to run your own race. Yes, everyone wants everything. That's great, but the whales are going to whale. The people who have been playing non-stop since Alpha, they're going to be in a different position to you. So I think you just need to run your own race. Yes, you want to be in the top alliance when there's alliance events going on and get all the good rewards, but you need to work up to that. So run your own race would be my advice for that one. So yeah, thanks very much, Victory Star Saber, for coming in. It's great to have some people watching the show, but it's a great thing about this podcast is whoever comes on as a guest, that's enough, just having a chat, and it might be something worthwhile people tuning into later, and hopefully, I think another thing that this brings is for the, not the big content creators, but the up and comers, people out there who have anxiety or they're a bit nervous about doing videos or live streams. This is a safe community. Yes, every community is going to have some people that maybe take it a step further. Unfortunately, with putting words on paper, it can be interpreted differently, so you don't get the intent and stuff like that. So at least by chatting live, I know sometimes I can say some stuff that's a bit harsh, but it's all meant in jest. So if it comes off, if it comes off that other way, you can definitely explain yourself. But yeah, hopefully we inspire some other people to jump in. I know I've got people in my community. It's like, I've been thinking about streaming, whether it's other games or doing videos with Transformers. I'm like, come jump on and just chat. Like, that's enough. Like, right now, people are like probably looking at our cameras going, oh, those cameras are a bit dodgy. It's like, yeah, we'll spend the money later on. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this is one of those things, if you're thinking about it, just do it, man. Like, it's fun. You meet a lot of friends that way. What you'll find is you'll have people just going to your direct messages, just telling you, man, I think your stuff is I think it's so good, man. Like, and people will support you, and people you never thought even looked at you like that, man. Like, if you're thinking about it, just do it. It's fun. You get a couple of platforms. Walt Millsy got this platform. I'm very, very welcoming to anybody that wants to come on my stream. Just do it, man. It's fun. Like you said, it is some work. It's definitely some work. It's fun, but it is fun, and you get to meet a lot of people. You get to talk to a lot of people. If you're thinking about it, just do it, man.
100%. Tobitron Live's in chat. Hello, hey mate, welcome. Thanks for popping on in. Victory Star Saber. On the topic of combiners, I think some of them need a buff. For example, Optimus Maximus really needs a range buff. Yeah, so that's probably a good opinion. He's not one of my favourites to use. I only have him as the 3-star, and he's my bot that I sort of use as defense at the moment. But when I have used him, range is obviously an issue. But I don't know. I feel personally, you need to have each bot needs to have its sort of strengths and weaknesses. Otherwise, they're all just going to be the same combiner with a different different skin. So, but yeah, if it's drastically making it, one of the poor ones, but if you are going to, the balance is going to be key, because you don't want to have a sort of scale going the best combiner to the worst combiner. You want them to have, they're all got their pros and cons. So, one might be extremely powerful. However, if you're looking at I'll say an individual class sort of, your tank DPS sort of thing. So they might be, might have a lot of HP, they're going to last a bit longer, and you're going to get more special abilities off, but they're not going to do that hectic damage, where another one might have crazy damage but it's lost range, or you might have more of a melee, more of a range sort of one. But Optimus Maximus, what a combiner.
And honestly, so I'll tell you, Optimus Maximus, that's Bruticus on the Decepticon side, right?
Ooh, I believe so. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Bruticus.
I haven't got Bruticus yet, so it probably is, because I was just trying to think who is the opposite, and I don't have Bruticus yet because I'm waiting for Motor Master, I think. Actually, no, I do have Bruticus. He's leveling up. I haven't used him yet. It could be. Soldier, welcome on in, mate.
Oh, hey, Soldier, what's going on?
The big dog in the community.
He just gets around, man.
He's so good.
He just gets around, doesn't he? He was on Mines last night. I think he was on Waz's last night. Like, he just does this.
Big shout out to Soldier. if you haven't checked out
Yes.
Soldier's pages, Transformers Earth Wars Addicts, before Transformers Earth Wars
Yes.
even got on Discord, you know, I thought that there was an official Discord, and it was the Addicts. It was Soldier was representing, and he's so supportive of all the content creators, whether you're the big fish or us little guppies in the pond. Such an awesome person. I only just started, you know, sort of chatting recently, but yeah, gave me a shout out, linked to one of my live videos last week in his channel, which is something that he doesn't normally do. Even now, you know, he watches our videos and our content and gives us tips to try and maximize the viewers that we get. He, you know, just an absolute legend.
Yes, absolutely. And I actually PM'd him yesterday because he showed up on my stream, and then he gave us all, because he has a section on his Discord for new content creators, and I think the same day that Walt Millsy got that he gave him a shout out and gave him a boost, he gave me a boost the same day, and so I felt like he saw something in us. Felt like that. I felt like that he didn't have to do that. Like I really, you know, he's one of those guys that he's just a stand-up guy, and he wants more people to do it. Like you said, he gives all the tips. So I'm very, very thankful to have him just in any of my circles, because he does a lot for the streaming community, and so man, like I'm thankful for him.
Oh, 100%. He's being humble and just saying he just works from home, and that's the reason. But no, it's more than that, my friend. Definitely more than that. What you've given to this community and this game is really something. So take that gratitude. We are too nice as well. We're definitely too nice. The Victory Star Saber Optimus Maximus is Bruticus. Yeah, he confirmed that for us. Thanks, Victory Star Saber.
Yeah.
You two will be official before you know it. Stop it. Well, there always needs to be, you know, up and comers. I think the people that we have right now as our, you know, our top content creators aren't going anywhere. But yeah, and like we said before, I think, you know, what we're doing, you know, for people out there, like, you know, you can still be an influencer in terms of the content. At that lower level, you don't have to be, you know, official. You know, not everyone is going to be official. Like, if everyone, you know, the way the future's going with, you know, streaming and online presence, you know, there's going to be a point where everyone has their online presence in terms of the game, and they can't all be the official content creators. You know, everyone's streaming and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for that. So it looks like, you know, an hour in, but now we're getting all the peeps, so it's great. I am glad that some people have finally joined in. Time slot would be something to look at. However, for me, it was like, what's that time? You know, because like, what time is it for you? It's Friday afternoon / evening for you. Is that correct? Big Freeze.
Yeah, it's 10 after 6 for me right now. So. Yeah, I know we were talking a little bit yesterday. I actually had like a half day at work, so that's what allowed me to come home early. Because typically the time that you started the stream is about an hour after I get off of work. So I was like, man, I'm leaving a little bit early, and everybody left early today, so that worked out.
Yeah, the old Friday half days. I'm all about that. Yeah, so moving in the future, can look at changing times if that works for guests. I was thinking about pre-recording and then putting it up there, but I think having, even though we've only just started experiencing now, having the chat there to chime in, I think it's really good, especially when there's only two guests. It gives a different perspective, and it obviously just generates that content. But yeah, I think moving forward, it should be a good little platform, hopefully.
Yeah, and honestly, I started to notice the pattern. So for me, for the most part, I pre-record almost everything, right? Yesterday was a rarity because when I found out that we were allowed to talk about Shattered Glass Thundercracker, I said, "Well, I'm gonna go live for this," and people responded. More people wanted to come on there live, and more people wanted to. And typically when I have something big for myself, like I don't do a lot of crystal crackings, but when I get a 5-star something, I do a crystal cracking, and I do it live, and it's a difference in how people perceive that. And the reason why I started to really understand that is because I started to give a lot more shout outs on my page, on my channel, excuse me. When I did that, people some kind of way about it. They feel special. They're like, hey man, this dude is taking time out to go put in all this work to make the videos and stuff. Acknowledge me. So yeah. So I think I'm going to be going live more frequently. I do have some constraints that might kind of prevent that a little bit, but I think I might get on a schedule similar to what Space Ape does. I think I might do 2 weeks, every 2 weeks or something like that. I think is where I'm going to look at.
Yeah, for me, scheduling is always hard. Being a family man and a military man like yourself, there's a lot to balance. But you still need your own time. You need your own hobby. You need the dad time to throw down, just for mental health, to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. All right, Victory Star Sabers generating some chat here. So, what do you guys think about Shattered Glass Jetfire and Rainbow Cracker ability? I'm not too experienced about those abilities, so I'll let the big Freeze. He's been play testing, and he sounds like he's been potentially not a big fan, but didn't want to overshadow him. But I'll leave it up to him to give you from what he's play tested, and it has changed very recently too. So you might. I don't think you've seen the new changes, but I'll let you talk about that, Freeze.
All right, so it's a couple of things. So I'm gonna tell you from the playtester side. I got this bot originally, the very first version that Space Ape gave me, terrible bot, hands down one of the worst bots I had ever seen. And so Fabian from Space Ape has been absolutely phenomenal about listening to our feedback, and the feedback that I gave him was to for the holograms that come out of there. And I don't know if you guys saw Sunshrieker Waz's video. I don't know if you guys saw my video, but their little hologram that comes out. It's the first time that they made a air hologram. All the hologram bots have been on the ground, for the most part. And so I said, hey, go ahead and send the holograms out first, and then allow this bot to attack, because the way Space 8 wanted this to be marketed is a MDS killer.
Sorry, Freeze. Just to give us a visual, so for the people that haven't seen those videos, is that hologram basically similar to a hound or a drag strip? There's a couple of holograms that shoot out. Is that what you're sort of looking for?
So it's 3 of them that look exactly like Shattered Glass Thundercracker. So it's 3 jets that hover around. And they kind of circle around.
Right. Like a shield kind of thing.
Your targeted area. Say again.
Like a shield, like a decoy. They kind of they'll take the hits.
So they take the hits of kind of defenses that typically target air bots. So if it is say a missile launcher can hit it. If you have the anti-air core on one of the if you have anti-air core on the defense, obviously that can attack the decoys, but the decoy has a taunt. So when you think of bots that have taunt, like Tantrum, for example, has the ability to kind of taunt. Nightbird with the G1 core has that hologram has the ability to taunt. Everything's gonna focus on the decoys as opposed to the bot itself.
Right.
And it becomes helpful, which is why I wanted them to put the decoys first. But yeah, man, I think that it's going to be. I like the ability overall. I think the ability is incredibly expensive. I think it's because Space Ape is marketing this is the MDS killer. And so the change they made today was to increase the damage that's done by the special ability. Because honestly, once they added these power cores to the MDS, and the when they added, well, I ain't even gonna say they added. You can still use zone heal and also go have a power core or rejuvenate or vitality, or not vitality, but to try to power up your MDS. So
Yeah.
that becomes an issue. That becomes an issue because health is a real big issue for that MDS. You can't really one-shot kill it with a lot of bots. So they wanted to make a one-shot kill bot. So they said, well, we got power cores now. We need to make it so that you can still one-shot kill with the power with those bots, with those power cores. Excuse me. So that's what's really been driving all the changes with this bot.
Right. So obviously, where we're at the moment, it's still a week out. Are they set on where it's at, or is it still open for a bit of modification? Do you think before it's official?
So the change just took place in the middle of the day today. I honestly think, depending on the feedback that we give them as playtesters, if that feedback is very, very negative, I think it could be more on the longer side before they have it finalized. They thought they had it finalized yesterday. That's why I wasn't made this video. That's why I made it.
Yep.
I think if we're content with the numbers crunching, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, Text the Titan is one of the premier guys at going in there, and he's one of the premier guys at getting the numbers right. So he's gonna find it. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a concepts guy, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I found the decoys needed to go first. The decoys weren't going first at first. The bot was going first, and he was taking a lot of damage. I speak in concepts. Tech speaks in numbers, and so I think they're going to find it. I don't think that it's going to take very long. I think the finalized version of this bot will be done. Honestly, I think it's going to be done relatively early in the week, because now it's Friday. I don't know who all is going to be working through. I don't think Space Ape is going to work through the weekend, but I think early Monday we're going to probably have a finalized bot. I'll say that based off of the patterns that I've seen. I don't have any inside information other than what the bot looks like right now, but yeah, that's my best guess.
So to sum up, what do you think about the Jetfire and Rainbow Cracker ability? I would summarize it as it's got potential. It's just we'll see what happens with the feedback, and hopefully they listen to their playtesters and content creators in regards to that, because especially being that new leaderboard and putting up the 5-star, I can only imagine if it is that undesirable bot and everyone's putting this effort in. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, the amount of work and effort it takes for communities and alliances to put bids in and work out, who's going in, and the time and effort is needed. And obviously they're factoring in the extra energy we get now on top of what people buy for these events. If they put all this money and effort into it, and time obviously is a resource, and it isn't a very good bot, they're going to hear about it.
Yeah, they are. Honestly, I think that one thing that I think is going to help, so it might not be this leaderboard, I think it might be in the future, but one thing that I do think that is going to help is, and a lot of you guys, if you follow Transformers Earth Wars on Discord, one of the things that they did is they started alliance councils.
Yep.
And what that really is. Yeah, and it's good because one of the things that I was a real huge advocate for Alliance Council, and the reason for that is a lot of times the play testers, a lot of play testers, a lot of us are whales or really good players and stuff like that. And sometimes I feel like you get disengaged from the rest of the community, and you say, "Oh, well, the big players want this." But what about everybody else that plays the game? And one of the reasons that I started my second account, and one of the reasons that I started playing my second account again, because I retired my second account for a while, is I wanted to see the struggles the levels were going through. Like I think I'm like a HQ 14 or whatever on my second account, right?
Yep.
And one of the things that I was really thinking about is I want game to be fun for everybody. And so when I feel like the council says, hey, they break it down into different levels. Hey man, we level in Caminus or below. So there's a group for that. There's a group for Event Council. There's a group for Cybertron, and there's a group for Prime League. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to start getting more responses from a variety of players, and their voices are going to be heard. And I think that's going to transform the game a little bit, and it's going to be more towards what we want.
Nice pun there, transform the game, I like it. Yeah, I think...
It wasn't intentional.
Not intended, but it was good. 100%, man. I think that is good. I mean, some people do forget about that. They focus on where they're at and how it affects them. But yes, this is a game that is bigger than just yourself. Like, obviously, everyone who grew up with G1, Transformers, G1, the people love the Baybers, it's a place for everyone, and some people are definitely more hardcore than others, and you always have to remember that, you want to be inclusive, not exclusive, and the balance is always going to be real. Like, trying to get that balance, it's hard, it's tough, and
right.
I think sometimes we can be very critical about the developers and whatnot, but to give them a bit of defense, we don't see everything, we don't see, how many communications they get daily, and you can only imagine that some, the stuff that they are getting hassled with in terms of people who are trying to, reverse a bad transaction. I can only speak for my own experiences, and last weekend I made a mistake of when I purchased a Shattered Glass, or I intended to purchase a Shattered Glass Ravage bundle, and when it came up on my screen, you had Steel Draw there first, and I clicked Steel Draw, and then I went to open my first 10. I was like, this isn't the bot. This isn't the bot I wanted. I think it was Victory Star Saber, because luckily I was live. He's like, oh, just let them know, and they should be able to swap it. So I let them know, they swapped it, and then I opened it up yesterday. I didn't look at it, but I did realise that they didn't give me the Shattered Glass Ravage, they just gave me the Ravage bundle,
Oh goodness.
but I was like, oh, it's okay. I just opened it up anyway. Got a 4-star Ravage, so you can't complain there. It was better than getting a 4-star Autobot character on the Decepticon account.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were pretty quick about it. But I know they've got a bit of a backlog at the moment. But yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
Just checking all my socials. I've been chatting for an hour 15. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it really does, man. I've really been enjoying myself, man. Especially like anytime I get a chance to talk with other creators and talk with other players and stuff like that, man, I'm always going to be enjoying myself. So.
Oh, I just lost the video.
Yeah.
There it's back.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Yeah, it just went Matrix for a bit.
Yeah, I got got you. But yeah, man. Honestly, man, like I'm kind of curious about this leaderboard just because Space Ape went out there and said that it's gonna be the biggest one ever, and then more details coming out, and I was like, I mean, it's good to me, but what I will say is a lot of the top five players, they are not happy. They think that they're being too skimpy on rewards. And even though they're getting a 5-star bot, they feel like they're sacrificing the 5-star bot for more rewards. So, or for less rewards, excuse me. So, I don't know. I'm not going for this bot. I'm just not. It's a good bot. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people, when they hear me talk about the bot, they say, "Oh man, Freezius is a bad bot." I'm not saying that it's a bad bot. I'm just not saying that for the audience they are presenting it to. That's not what that audience wants. I don't feel like. But see how it goes.
Yeah, it's always a tough one. I think for myself, like I don't go too crazy in the events anyway because obviously of my level, so I'm just happy to collect the bot, get the 2-star, the 3-star. Even when you have opportunities to get a 4-star, I'm like, I'm going in with the expectation that it's probably unlikely I am going to get it. If I do get it, it's great. So avoid my disappointment in my own right. But yeah, we've already spoken about the amount of effort it takes to go into these events. So. All right.
I don't like bot events, period. I don't like bot events, period, because you get a chance at a bot. Like I want the guaranteed thing. So like they come out there with the Titan event soon. Yeah. All right, I'm in. You go in there and you tell me you may or may not get. Imagine what the 6th place team is gonna feel like trying to get that 5-star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be in that position. Like, nah, man. Like, I want the guaranteed thing. And I'll spend money for the guaranteed thing. But nah, not this. I'm good. It's a good bot. It's not a bad bot. I'm not spending for that.
Yeah, I think Victory Star Sabers just said, he would go for him, but the leaderboard will only be for the top 5 whale alliances. Yeah, I think, obviously, and this is the thing, before 5-star bots came to leaderboards, everyone was like, the people who are getting the 4-star bots don't need them, and the people who want them can't get them. So, I think we need to remember that going into this, not that we're missing out on a 5-star. I think we need to focus on, we couldn't get the 4-star. Now that the top people are getting the 5-star, there should be more people able to achieve the 4-star. And I think that's where you need to look at. And like I said, you need to run your own race.
Yes.
Not look at, everyone wants everything. That's 100% we do. But that's not where we are at the moment. Based on our availability of playing, how long we've been playing for, our alliances, our level. Well, there's so many different factors. So if we can go back to the last leaderboard, you wanted that 4-star. Now you're in a position where you should get that 4-star because the whales are 5-star and up. So I think that's where we need to focus. And the fact that your personal preference, not yours, but anyone who's watching, maybe not having it an awesome 5-star is good for the people that are like, oh, the whales are now getting this awesome 5-star. I think having it as one that it's good, it's great, but it's not the best ever is probably where it needs to be, because otherwise it's going to be one of those things again where people are like,
dude, you speak in my language.
That unobtainable, carrot that is dangling in front of you, and you're never gonna get it.
Yeah, you speak in my language now, man. Because here's the thing. I've always been one of those advocates. Every bot doesn't need to be an iconic bot. Every bot doesn't need to be a groundbreaking, bot. in my personal opinion, I think there should be some bots that's just okay. And the thing is, it's like now there's a couple of things that I don't think it needs to be that way when you're paying the kind of money that people are paying for that particular bot. I don't think every bot has to be this iconic bot. So that's kind of the direction it seems like SpaceX is going in, is that they want to make everyone like this a meta bot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most effective available bot. You know, and I can't say that I agree with that, because you got a lot of people to just do the exact same. You know, there are times I go in war and over a course of a couple of days, I see the same base design 3, 4, 5 times. That's not what I want. I want to be challenged, and you know, if I see it 5, 6 times, I mean, giving me prep time is like giving Batman prep time. You know, I mean, his movie going on right now. We probably should be watching it. You know, but
I'm going to see that this afternoon, to be honest. So
I'm gonna wait a little bit, man. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I mean, like, it's gonna be crowded. I'm as much as I like people, I don't like crowds that much unless I'm going to like a music concert or something. So I'm gonna wait to see it, but I do think it's gonna be good. They say it's like 3 hours long, man.
Yeah. Like my young son, he's like, another Batman movie? I'm like, yeah, you gotta go see it, Pete.
What do you mean another Batman movie? Like, there's always room for Batman.
Oh, 100%. Alright, Soldier, hope to get on a top 5 team. You should get on a top 5 team. If they don't put you on a top 5 team, we're going to be upset.
You hope to get on the top 5.
We're your biggest fans, Soldier.
Top 5 team. Soldier getting on the top 5 team. Like, stop that. You too humble, man. Like, you getting on the top 5 team.
Yeah. Alright, what are we going to talk about now? Well, whilst we're chatting, I'm sure you're doing the same. I know I am. I'm doing it on 2 screens. I'm playing the current solo event. What do you think about the solo event?
The solo event, so I had a slow start, man. I spent a lot of time today at work. So I worked a half a day, but I spent a lot of the day just hanging out with people, you know, just at work. But so I hadn't hit it as hard. But I will tell you, I think it's an incredible solo event, and I think that events as a whole are getting better. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not, events are getting better as a whole. We're getting more of the stuff that we actually want. Like I want both of my accounts to get all those resources, that Energon and that alloy. But yeah, like I think it's a pretty good event. I will finish the event on my main. I might get pretty close on my alt account. It's a good event. Like I really like it. And I think it's a good little break. Like, you know, individual events are always a good break before you go to a major event like next week's leaderboard. So
yeah,
think about it.
Yeah, I think the before and after. I think they've gone that 5-week schedule now, and it looks like they've gone. And I assume they're going to keep that format, but they've gone solo event, you know, two team events, solo event, leaderboard, and then obviously kicking back in being a 5-week saga. It then starts again. So prior and before the leaderboard, the big finale of the saga, you've got that chill time. Solo event, if you don't need it, and obviously the people that are at the higher level, you know, they potentially don't need it, so they will, you know, they get to have that break. For the people that still want something, like when the holidays came up last year, there was those events out that were pretty quick to achieve, but it was like, if the people who just can't have a break and need something, there's something for you. But yeah, you know, and it's like, obviously, in terms of people who are like the collectionists, like the more stuff you have, yes, the better it's going to be. But I think you need to obviously, you know, always check yourself and go, all right, is it really worth not wasting, but losing my whole weekend and not being social or doing the stuff you want to do, go and see Batman or hang out with the kids. But yeah, you need to look at that. But yeah, definitely Prime Calls, and I've got a few more to go. Victory Star Saber saying, you can't believe this game's 5 years old. And I can't either. I think I remember back to when I first started playing this game. I think I was deployed, so I did have a bit of a hiatus, but there was another Transformers game. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure some of you guys will be able to help me out, but it had like, it was sort of cartoonish, and they were like mini bots, and you had like, you do like battles against people, and you collected different little bots.
Forged to fight.
Not Forged to Fight. It's not around anymore. It was like they were kind of cartoonish little bots, and you would you'd have a combiner too.
This is the first one I played.
Right. I'm sure Soldier knows what I'm good. I have spoke about it. I'm pretty sure with JP and not Forged to Fight. It was kind of cartoonish. I'll do some research. I'll get back to you. I'm not telling a very good story, but I'm pretty sure I spoke to Skull and he knew what I was talking about. It's not around anymore, so that's why it's hard. But I'll find it later. Yeah. Get 2 more Prime Calls to get. Yeah, I think I've got 3 left on my Autobot account, and I've only got 3 on my Decepticon account. So yeah, there's a lot coming there. But yeah, in terms of solo, I think being where I am, HQ 15, the amount of 5-star battle tactics. Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, battle tactics. I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah.
You remember that one?
Nah, I didn't play that one, but I always do my research right inside here about things different people were talking about. Well, yeah, all right, yeah, I seen some graphics for that. So
but yeah,
I
where
didn't
I was,
play it, but I know people that did.
Yeah, where I was going with that one is when you have games like that, and there's been another game. There was a game I used to play on Steam, Marvel Heroes. That's gone now, but there is a game called Marvel Future Revolution, which is a mobile multiplayer game, which is great. But a lot of people, when they were playing that, were like, because of the old Marvel Heroes, it was an awesome game, and it just disappeared. It went from Steam onto console, and then it kind of just died. And when I'm playing this game, I'm like, touch wood. I'm like, I hope this game's around forever. But because especially the amount of money people invest into it. But yeah, and it's like when Victory Star Saber said, I can't believe it's 5 years old. It's like, I can't believe it's 5 years old, and I hope that it doesn't go anywhere. But I think the communities that we have, the engagement with Space 8 with the communities, I think, and the amount of money some people put into it, I think I don't see a reason why it's going to go away. Transformers have been out, from the 80s. I don't think that they're going to go away. Does anyone remember Transformers Universe? I can't say I have. Was it an app game? Was it a console game? I have missed out on a lot of console games. I know I still should go and buy it, but I'm hoping a new one pops up soon. But I missed out on the War for Cybertron. Yet again, service career. Generally these games come out and I'm deployed, so I'm like, I don't buy them because I don't have time to put into them. But yeah, I watch High Beam TF on Twitch play Fall for Cybertron and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, I should go get it. But yeah. Don't worry, the whales will keep this game alive. Yeah, 100%. I haven't tried Forged to Fight, to be honest. I find my time is pretty full at the moment. My schedule. Carlos, I don't suck your name up. I can't pronounce it last time. I'm not going to ruin it. But yeah, Carlos is in there. I'm sure Freezius will have a crack. You are the best. We are the best. Thank you very much. So kind. Carlos, do you play Transformers Earth Wars? Which faction do you play? Tell us about yourself. Your name does not look familiar to me. Welcome on in. Montegro? I believe it is. Yeah. But yeah, good to see some people popping into the chat. Alright, where were we? Back to solo event. What I was going to say was, yeah, so I'm always HQ16. it's a bit of a stretch for me to get to 20k. I've never done it, but I've crunched the numbers, and I think I get sort of like I've gone hard in the first day or two, and then the old event fatigue set in. But I think with the premium Cyber Pass giving you that extra energy, I think it just eventually will give you enough to, even though they're not going to probably be your best spots because they'll be on cooldown, but you know, it's going to get some points on the board, and it's potentially going to get you to achieve that 20k where you necessarily wouldn't previously. So for the people that, you know, are a bit low, the lower level of the fish, you can do that. Which, it always surprises me. I generally join an alliance, and I would say I work a lot harder than other people to get my points, because I look at their bases, I look at what they've got, and I'm like, you know, why am I ahead of them in the leaderboard? But obviously, like I say, you know, I acknowledge that other people who don't have, you know, they have other commitments and stuff like that. So that's why you need to look at, yeah, you might have HQ 17 and have all the best spots, but you can only commit to a couple hours a day. So yeah, that's why you're in that other alliance, where, you know, I was in Technicons when I first come to the PPX, and I wasn't able to achieve the minimums and stuff like that. So they said, hey, why don't you drop on down? So I dropped down to PPX Behemoths, and was doing well there. But then I felt that me and my mate were a bit, you know, put a bit extra time in, and got a spot back in the Technicons where we're getting some more rewards to help us out, which is great. Alright. Transformers Universe was an MMO that took place in the Aligned Continuity. I'm not gonna lie, I hope they add Amana, Energon, and Cybertron and animated characters in the game. Oh, so yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of my my Transformer fandom, like I do have figures, I do love Transformers. There's episodes I can't remember or I haven't seen. I know last year when I did get into the Twitch scene, there was a Twitch channel that was broadcasting like all the Transformers non-stop. So depending on when you got in, you got a lot of the Japanese versions, and I learned a lot just watching that. I'm not too up to date on the Armada and stuff like that. The animated series, I'm all over that one, because it came out just before my son was born, and so, you know, 13 odd years ago, I'm watching this cartoon, and I'm like, this is going to be the next thing. I'm going to buy all the toys for my son. So behind me, which I'm, you know, slowly getting into my toy reviews as well. I've only done one so far, but pretty much got 95% of the animated toy line that I bought for my son, which I'm pretty sure I played with more than him. But yeah, there's some characters that they could potentially bring across, or even the skins. You know, they could definitely look at the skins. You know, most of the characters are there. There is obviously a few characters that aren't. I think one of the animated ones that I can think of, like they got Swindle, they got Lockdown, they got Lugnut, Waspinator, Seekers, Bulkhead. He's been in 2 shows now. Obviously, there's a unique character there. I don't remember this guy's name. I think it's Oil Slick Decepticon. I'll put him up there from the animated series. Like he's a cool looking Cybertronian sort of bike, and it's even got like the ram skull there. Not a bad bike. He didn't get much airtime on the show, but yeah, he'd be a good character in the game for sure. But I would imagine it would be similar to Flame War, you know, boosting around, throwing some acid or something like that, maybe. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential, and there's a lot of characters, you know. If you look at G1, if you go watch the first season of Transformers, there's characters there like Windcharger, Brawn. They're not in the game yet. In terms of Decepticons, obviously trying to find that balance. I can't think of any of the I guess, the OG Decepticons that aren't in yet. I know there's a lot more Autobots than Decepticons, so having that balance. And then obviously looking at the comics and all the other series, like you said, there's still a lot more to come. Alright, might be time to wrap it up soon, unless you've got something else, Freeze, you want to chat about today?
Nah, honestly, most of the major topics that are on my mind right now, most of them you covered, man. Like, just asking me questions and just general conversation. So, I think I'm good, man.
Awesome. I think moving forward, obviously this is an evolving beast. I'll probably start up a channel. Oh, I'm a bit. I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna, potentially look at making just a dedicated Transformer YouTube channel, or eventually if I'm gonna dual platform stream. But at the moment, I stream all my stuff to YouTube for the Transformers, and then I've got my other. I jump on Twitch most evenings, and I've been playing 7 Days to Die and Lost Ark at the moment. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to split my contents or keep them all together. But I definitely want to get a section up in the Discord where people have stuff that they want to discuss on the podcast, or even jump on as a guest. Always looking for guests. Victory Star Saber, Soldier, Carlos, whoever's in chat, Tobatron Live, I believe. Yeah. Anyone wants to jump on. If you don't want your video, that's also fine. I think it's great to add that extra thing, but we can put up a picture instead if it's not for you. I know it's not for everyone, and you might want to ease into it. But yeah, looking for guests, looking for content. If you want more gameplay, like we didn't do any gameplay today. I think there was enough chat to sort of keep us going. In terms of grinding out a solo event, I don't think it's that entertaining. Your eyes are probably fixed on your own as well, so just start listening to the content is definitely enough in this regard. But yeah, any feedback on the podcast or whatnot, or even our own content is always appreciated. But yeah. Alright, so we're going to leave it there, going to wrap it up. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much to Freezius Max for coming on today. I think it was great. Super nervous, Victory Star Saber. Look, if you want, we can talk offline first and ease into it. Like, I'm always open for a chat. If you send me online in Discord, send me a message, and this is to anyone. You can come and jump in my Discord, jump on my voice chat. Happy to just chat with anyone, and yeah, you can definitely work up to it. That's not a problem at all. But yeah, thank you very much, Freezius Max, for popping on, and hopefully it's not the last time, and we can only continue our collabs.
We gotta do this again, man. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun, man. We gotta do this again.
We definitely will. Alright, dude, I'll let you say your parting words, and then we'll wrap up this live stream.
Hey, man, like, honestly, it's just, leaderboards coming up. Do your research up there, regardless of who you follow, and make your decisions on what you want to do with this bot. And start getting yourselves prepared for HQ 18 if that's the level that you're at, when you're at like HQ 17, 17 and a half, whatever we calling it. Other than that, man, like, honestly, you check me out, and I saw that Walt Mills had just put my my info onto my YouTube info onto the stream. Check me out, check them out. Like I said, I'm all for being collaborators as opposed to, like, everybody looks at it. I had a couple of my guys just say, oh man, not necessarily with Walt Millsy, but just with other creators, why are you giving them shout outs for certain stuff? Hey man, look, it's a community, and that's the way that I approach it. That's the way that Walt Millsy approaches it. I mean, let's have fun, man. It's a game. So that's my parting words, man. It's just like it's a game. Let's have fun with it. Let's have fun with it together.
Well said, well said. Yeah, 100%. I think we're here about pumping people up, not letting down their tires, You know, we're quite cognizant that this is a hobby for us. We're not out there trying to be making money off being a Transformers Earth Wars influencer, ribbit thing. And yeah, we just want to, you know, expand our own knowledges. And I won't get into it now, but you know, streaming and you know, getting yourself out there with this sort of social stuff, it provides you a lot more in terms of your professional and personal development. But I might talk about that next podcast. But anyway, Soldier said, good stuff, guys. What an absolute legend. I'll jump into edit after this. I'll put all the socials for Freezius Max that he sends me, links to his, even if it's just his Discord and his YouTube, that's enough to get you there, and you can navigate from there and find the rest. But yeah, you don't need to be following any content creators exclusively. You can definitely share around. It's not cheating. And hopefully we see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Later.